On your mark, get set, and go now. Okay, so here we are on the back of a 1997 Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul Standard. If you missed the first video, this is, I guess, going to be part 2 or maybe part 3. I'll label them as they go up. We're just looking at the back and just checking things out. We're going to have an obsessive look for any kind of damage. I already saw a few spots that we're going to capture on here as we roll over it. Here's our control cavity. You can see that the solder work in here is almost bad enough to be original. It's a little stab at Gibson in the 90s there. Yeah, I do believe that these are the original pots and caps. I gotta tell you what though. Yeah, that's looking pretty hairy. Some of that solder work. That's not to say it's impossible that this is factory soldering. I don't think it is, though. I don't know enough about control cavities from the mid to late 90s Gibson Custom Shop to tell you for sure either way. Yeah, really hard to say. It is what it is. I'll tell you, the guitar sounds great, but whether or not all of that control cavity work is original, who knows? This jack plate is not. That jack plate, I actually just put it on a few minutes ago because the original plastic unit has a crack, has a little hairline crack on one of these corners. There it is. You can get a kind of a look at it there. A little hairline crack. That is not uncommon for these plastic jack plates. So I'm going to retire this. It'll get labeled and put in a plastic bag, and it'll live there with some of the other original parts. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this one, that right there, that is probably the worst of the bunch. Certainly not good. You can see it's not really all the way to the wood. It's just kind of like through the clear coat. There we go, through the clear coat, not really through the finish. And definitely not all the way down to the mahogany underneath. And let's see what we have here. This one. That's the one that Sinister saw on the other video. Sharp Eye, thank you again for pointing that out. And another that's much like it here by the control cavity, or the switch cavity. All right, so here we have a peek at our switch. Sure does look like Switchcraft product to me. I'm not going to pull it out to verify. Yeah, and then here we are, moving up the neck. I didn't see anything on the neck to give me pause, really, until we get to the headstock. This guy right here, that's news to me. I did not know that was there. There's another one. You can see I really need to polish this up, right? You can see some of the fingerprinting and hazing that's on there. That's part of what I'm here to fix. This one I did know about. That was clearly disclosed in the original posting for this guitar on Reverb. It was in Japan when I repatriated it to the United States. That ding there was well disclosed by the seller. We have no complaints about that. And there's your serial number. This serial number format, several sources online agree that this should be a 1957 reissue serial number format. However, I emailed Gibson about it, and they said, no, what you have there is a 1997 custom shop special order. And they said specifically that it shipped in August of 97. They would not tell me where it went, but I mean, odds are good that it went straight to Yamano Music in Japan, based on the fact that A, I found it in Japan, and B, it has a Yamano Music manual and like warranty card that came in the case. So we think that this guitar was sold new in the Japanese market, and yeah, stayed there for about 27 years before coming home. You can see what looks like a ding there. Sure does look like it'd be an impression, right? Touching it, I tell you it's not. On camera, it looks like that would have some kind of depth to it. It doesn't. That is just a coloring mark or similar. I'm trying to catch the glare on it in just the right way that you can see that there's no texture or dimension to that little character mark. And that's what we've got. I mean, I'll take a few more pics and obsess over this thing as I'm going over it. You can see we do not have the thin cutaway binding on this guitar. That is the thick binding, so you cannot see the maple cap peeking out from between the binding and the body. So that maple cap is fully hidden here. But yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to get to work here. I'm going to hit it once with a cleaner to take most of the swirls and such out of it, and then we'll come back over it again with a polish, and that'll pretty well be it. After that, the strings are going on, and that'll be the end. You can see I did polish up the tailpiece a little bit. You can see that's much shinier than in the first video. I didn't go crazy with it, and I kind of don't want to. I don't want it to be, because I'm not going to do anything with the bridge, and I don't want them to be too far out of step with each other. I think it'd look kind of weird if you had a really, really shiny tailpiece and a really, really dull, aged, patinaed bridge. So we're not going to introduce that kind of a mismatch. That's as much as I'm going to do with it. The body, however, yeah, this is all going to get cleaned and polished over the next hour or so. And we'll get these videos up probably in the next couple of days, and we'll see who gives any craps at all about a late 90s Gibson custom shop Les Paul standard. Cheers.